Hello students, today in this video we are going to discuss about how the food we eat and how the food systematically flow in our alimentary canal that we already discussed in our previous video. So here we are going to discuss about carbohydrate digestion also and the different type of enzymes used in the carbohydrate digestion. So let's take the how the flow of food systematically happens in the alimentary canal. So first of all, whatever the food we eat that we take from the mouth. So mouth is the first point where we take the food, and we know that the mouth contains different type of teeth, tongue and salivary glands which help in the partial digestion of carbohydrate, and this teeth and tongue basically help in the dividing the bigger particles of the food into the smaller particles. So it is the mouth is the first part through which the food is taken in. There is one very important thing that we should know about it, that is epiglottis. So epiglottis is very important part, as whenever the food we eat, because the area of our nose, ear and mouth, that area is very common, it's a common area, and here this epiglottis ensure that the food should enter into the esophagus part, that is in our food pipe, not should be in the respiratory tract, because due to the common area of this is the common area. So here the food may be the chance that it move to the respiratory tract. But this epiglottis is a small muscular like structure that it helps in the, and it ensure that the food should enter into the esophagus part in our food pipe. So here you are able to see that this area, this part is the respiratory tract, and back to the respiratory tract there is a esophagus. So here this epiglottis, when we eat, the epiglottis just close this respiratory tract and help and ensure that this food move to here in the esophagus part. So it's a very important part. Now after this mouth, whatever the thing, the food that is mixed with the saliva and converted into, when we chew it, it's converted into very small part, that is called bolus. That food is called bolus. Here that is the food mixed with the saliva or the small particles of the food, that is when we chew it, it becomes very small part, and when mixed with the saliva, that part is called bolus. That is called bolus. Now this bolus start to move. So let's take this bolus start to move. This bolus start to move in the esophagus, and we know that in esophagus there is a one movement called, yes, you all know about that movement, that is called peristaltic movement. That is peristaltic movement. It is a contraction and relaxation of the esophagus through which the bolus start to move towards the stomach. Now our bolus, here is the sphincter. We know that there is a sphincter which help in the, when food bolus comes from esophagus to stomach, there is a sphincter which helps in the back, avoid the backflow of the food again in back to the esophagus. Now food moves towards the stomach, and that stomach, in the stomach we have a different type of HCl and some gastric juice. So it helps in the different digestion of, partial digestion of the protein, and HCl also play a very important role. Now this, from this stomach, now this food becomes, that food known, the food or the bolus which comes from esophagus to stomach, we called it, and when it mixed with the this gastric juice or HCl, we called it chyme. CHYME, chyme. That now the food is known as chyme. That the yellow color food, that is known as, the color of is as a little bit pale in color, so that is called chyme. Now this chyme is now moved towards the intestine. This chyme now move towards the small intestine. So firstly the food is taken from mouth, secondly it goes to esophagus, third it moves towards the stomach, and then it moves towards the fourth is our small intestine. Now this chyme moves toward the small intestine, and we know that in the small intestine there is a secretion of interstitial juice. There is a some of the intestinal juice, sorry, it's the intestinal juice which secreted by the small, sorry, this is the small intestine. This is small intestine secretes some intestinal juice, as well as it contains the juice of pancreas, as well as this is the liver. So liver and pancreas juice also pour into the small intestine. This pancreas juice also contain some pancreatic juice, which is very important juice, and contain different type of enzymes to digest carbohydrate, lipid, fat, or protein. So it contains all the enzymes for the digestion of different components, nutrients. Now this pancreas also contain bicarbonate ion. Bicarbonate ion. So this bicarbonate ion helps in making the food, because food is coming from the stomach. So whatever the food coming from stomach is a highly acidic because it contains HCl. Now this bicarbonate ion make it the acidic food into, or the acidic chyme, that is called the chyme, because after the stomach this food called the chyme, that this chyme is, this carbonate ion helps change into the alkaline. So it makes the chyme, which is very highly acidic, which make it alkaline, slightly alkaline. Now after that, this small intestine, where there is a digestion process occurs, different type of carbohydrate, protein, and there is a fat digestion takes place, as well as absorption takes place, because this small intestine, let's take the structure of small intestine here. So this small intestine having a villi like structure. So we can say that it is a tube, and here this surface is like a finger like projection. We called it villi. Okay, so it helps in the it increase the surface area and help in the digestion, absorption of the nutrients. Lastly, it moves towards the large intestine. Whatever the digested food, it moves towards the, or absorbed food, move to the large intestine. So last part is our large intestine. Here there is an absorption of water and minerals takes place, and finally here there is a anus, where the food exit of the food take place. So here there is a exit, or the removal of food take place, and this process called egestion. So this is the systematic way through which the food is entered from mouth, then it epiglottis help in the ensure that the food should enter into the esophagus, that is back of our respiratory tract, and this is a flap like structure. When food is there present in the mouth, so it just stop the area of this trachea area, or that is respiratory tract, and let the food move toward the esophagus. In esophagus there is no digestion takes place, and that the food which is mixed with the saliva or the small converted into small particles, they are known as bolus, and then bolus move towards the stomach having some gastric juice which help in the digestion of protein, and HCl is also present, and then food moves towards the small intestine where the complete digestion takes place. And lastly, the food that is chyme, that is the whatever the food we get from stomach to the small intestine, we called it chyme. And lastly, after the absorption of all nutrient, it moves towards the large intestine where the minerals and water get absorbed and it then exit from the anus. There is a presence of appendix in the large intestine, which is vestigial organ. Earlier it is functional, but now it is not any functional, and it is called appendix. Appendix means a vermiform, means small worm-like structure. So it is just a worm-like structure, and there is no any use of this appendix in our body. So this is all about the systematic flow. Now we are going to discuss about so let me erase all these things so that you can understand properly. So here we are going to discuss about the digestion of carbohydrate. Now first of all, what is carbohydrate? So carbohydrate. So carbohydrates are the food, the substance which is contain carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. So basically carbohydrate is the substance which contain carbon, hydrogen and oxygen, and we get in the form of starch or cellulose. Basically cellulose, herbivores animals, or we can say that basic green plant eater contain the cellulose. So basically these carbohydrates we get in the form of starch. Now, so carbohydrates are of different according to their complexity. Carbohydrate is of can we say that monosaccharide, right? Disaccharides, when there is a 2 unit of carbohydrate, then we call it disaccharides. Or if there is a lots of unit, then we call it polysaccharides. So in digestion process, what happens? These complex carbohydrate like starch, which contain which is called the polysaccharides, they are divided into, or they are broken down into the simpler substance like disaccharides and monosaccharides. So let's see how this digestion process takes place. Now, first of all, we will start from mouth. When we take food, so carbohydrate in the mouth, there is a presence of saliva, and that is called salivary amylase present, and this salivary amylase work on this starch. And we know that starch is a complex, that is a polysaccharides. That is the polysaccharide. Polysaccharide is a contain a large unit of carbohydrate. So here this starch is converted into with the action of this alpha amylase which is present in our saliva, it converted the carbohydrate into maltose and isomaltose. So these maltose and isomaltose are the disaccharides. So it's a disaccharide. Now in stomach, there is no any digestion takes place in the stomach, and esophagus also. Esophagus is not the area where any type of digestion take place. So in stomach, there is no any gastric juice doesn't contain any type of thing which digests the carbohydrate. Now, whatever the food moves, next one is the small intestine. Now here action of pancreatic juice. We know that small intestine having a secretion of, they get the secretion from the pancreas as well as liver. So liver produce bile juice. It is not related with the carbohydrate digestion. This pancreatic juice basically contain this pancreatic amylase, which also work on the starch, whatever the starch rest, because all starch, whatever the food we eat, we all the starch is not converted into maltose and isomaltose. Some starch move. So whatever the starch present, still present in the food, that will be by the action of pancreatic amylase, it is divided or broken down into maltose and isomaltose. And these maltose or isomaltose is also disaccharide. Now, this disaccharide, but we have to break the carbohydrate to the monosaccharides from poly to mono. So here only the disaccharide digestion takes place, means up to the disaccharide. Now, action of interstitial juice. Now, intestinal, sorry, I'm telling you interstitial, it's an intestinal juice. So here action of intestinal juice. So here there is a presence of maltase enzyme, isomaltase enzyme, sucrase, that is sucrase enzyme, and lactase enzyme. So it's a very important enzyme, basically contain ase. Whenever you find any ase word in the last of any word, it is a type of enzyme or biocatalyst which increase the rate of reaction. So here maltose, whatever the maltose we are getting from this small intestine or from the mouth, that maltose is converted. Maltose is the disaccharide. Now it converted into monosaccharide. So glucose. Glucose is the smallest unit of carbohydrate. So here it is converted into monosaccharide. Again, isomaltose, in the presence of isomaltase enzyme, it converted into glucose. Glucose we get from it. Sucrose, due to the presence of sucrase enzyme, it is also converted into fructose and glucose. They are also monosaccharides. And lactose, it also contains the lactase due to the presence of lactase enzyme. These converted into glucose and glucose, monosaccharides. So in this way, the carbohydrate digestion takes place. Now here the starch is a polysaccharides, poly and the complex one. So here from complex to here we are getting the monosaccharide. So basically digestion is the breaking of the food into from complex to simple. So from carbohydrate which contain the basically the starch are the polysaccharides having a contain of large unit of carbohydrates, they are divided, they are broken down into, and lastly we get the monosaccharide. So this complex starch is converted into simpler one, that is called monosaccharide or the glucose. That is, glucose is a single unit of carbohydrate, and then these glucose are absorbed by the intestine. So in this way, we understood that how the digestion process takes place in the carbohydrate. So thank you so much.